have noticed that Maurice DuBois hasn't been here since the new year, and we'd like to take a moment to explain why.
Yeah, Maurice has been diagnosed with Bell's palsy and is undergoing treatment for the condition right now.
His doctors say that his prognosis is good, and he's looking forward to returning to work as soon as he can. Lonnie Quinn is joining us here at the anchor desk, as well as CBS 2's Dr. Max Gomez. He's here to explain more about what Bell's palsy is.
It's really kind of interesting here. Bell's palsy is a paralysis or weakness of the muscles on one side of the face. The result is that one side of the face droops. It's not common, but it's also not all that rare. About 40,000 people a year will develop Bell's palsy. Now, the paralysis or weakness affects the facial nerve that comes out right behind the ear and innervates the muscles of the face. Smiling, frowning, blinking can all be impaired with Bell's palsy. The cause is thought to be a virus that inflames the nerves, causing it to swell. But because a nerve comes out of the brain through a tiny little bony canal, there's no room for it to swell, so it gets squeezed and shuts down. It comes on suddenly, often overnight, and without warning. Now, the only treatment for it is prednisone, an oral steroid to reduce inflammation, and antiviral medications. The good news is that most people with Bell's palsy start to regain normal function within a couple of weeks and usually recover completely with very little after effects. Now, I did speak with Maurice earlier today, and he's been getting the right treatments, and he's starting to feel some tingling in his face, a sign that the nerve is regenerating, so that's a good sign.
Which is all great news. And by the way, Maurice now joins us on the phone. Maurice, I know that you've posted on Facebook today regarding your diagnosis and how you are feeling, but it's always nice to hear it straight from the man himself. So we're going to put up that Facebook page, or that Facebook post here, as our friends see it at home. Tell us, how are you feeling?
Thanks, Christine. You know what? Other than the side of my face, the right side being locked and frozen, I feel as if it's business as usual. I feel normal. I feel as good as ever. I even had a physical the other day, and everything's fine except this side of my face. And I don't know if you can hear, it's hard to speak clearly. But other than that, I'm great. And I have to tell you, because of that post and, the nature of email and social media these days, there's been an avalanche of love and support like I never imagined, and it's just been a flood all day. And I just want to thank everybody who's been posting and tweeting and Facebooking and emailing and everything else. It's just been really overwhelming and wonderful.
And we hope that speeds up your recovery, Maurice, because obviously the people have been concerned out there. Dr. Max had mentioned that this does tend to come on suddenly. Was that what you experienced? Was this, you woke up one morning and you had this?
It sure was. It was Monday, the first day of the new year. I was ready to go after a nice little break, and I couldn't smile. And it was so disconcerting. I ran to the mirror, saw this, and, you think the worst. You think stroke. You think worse. I didn't feel any tingling or anything like that, so that was a good thing. But I called my doctor, and he immediately recognized it, sent me to a neurologist who then recognized it, and we ruled out all sorts of other things, as Max outlined. But, there's one question I have for Max that hopefully is still there.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of people say, oh, it must have been stress. Life is stressful and on and on like that. Well, what do you say to that, Doc?
Dr. Max, he was asking whether or not if stress could be a factor in the onset of this condition.
Stress is never a good thing, but there's no evidence that stress has any real impact on this. It's a virus. It seems to be a virus that just comes out of nowhere. Some other conditions, diabetes, some other things, none of these things that Maurice really has might contribute to it. So it's really one of these things that just comes out of the blue.
All right, Maurice. Well, unfortunately, the same thing that your doctors have been telling you is exactly what Dr. Max has said here. We do appreciate you taking the time, though. We've been fielding a lot of questions about your absence, but it's like I said, it was just so good to hear your voice today and to know that, your diagnosis is positive.
Thank you so much. I just got to add one thing. I asked my doctor, I think I need a beer after all this. He said, I only have one rule about that, and he said, make sure it's a good one.
Well, you know what? We'll buy you that beer, Maurice, okay?
Sounds like you're in good hands.
Not the best. Thanks, guys.
I like your style. All right,
Give
Maurice.
our love to the family.
Thanks. See you guys.
Bye-bye.